Well, the federal Liberals are expanding a loan guarantee program for some farmers. The move comes amid an ongoing trade dispute with China, which has blocked shipments of canola. With us now from Ottawa is Federal Agriculture Minister Marie-Claude Bibeau. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
So let's start with how you arrived at this particular package. It is an extension, an increase in interest-free loans to farmers. Why is that important for them right now?
Because the purpose of this program, the advanced payment program, is to support farmers with their cash flow, so they have more flexibility to sell their canola at the right moment at the best price. So we decided to increase the limit of the loan from $400,000 to $1 million for all producers. And for the interest-free portion of it, which used to be $100,000, we raised it to $500,000 for canola farmers specifically.
So this will help. Obviously, farmers are buying seeds, planting their crops. Planting is beginning. The massive amount of uncertainty, though, we just showed the canola price, is really going to have an impact on those plans. What kind of reassurance can you give canola growers about actually resolving this issue of our canola seeds being accepted by China?
It's been 2 months since the issue started, and I can tell you that we are working overnight with the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, having conversations with the Chinese authority. We take it very seriously. We're standing by our farmers. I've traveled to the West 2 times already. And we also have put in place a working group with our colleague from the prairie provinces, with the stakeholders as well, and the representatives of the growers themselves. We are taking it very seriously, and we are working as a Team Canada to consider every options to resolve the issue and find also alternative markets.
Why not take a tougher stance with China directly, including a World Trade Organization dispute mechanism? Because it does seem as though this is tied, widely believed, not just to our canola, but to ongoing trade tensions or the issue around Huawei.
Two reaction to your question. First, we have different tools in our toolkit to respond to the situation, and we think it's not the right moment to proceed with the WTO. And second, we have to stand by our very high quality canola production and our very robust inspection system. As the Minister of Agriculture and Agri-Food, I have to stand by my producers and to defend the reputation of our agricultural products.
Of course you do. One would hope you would. But in what way are you doing that when we continue to allow China to run roughshod over our producers?
Well, we are having a very wide import-export relation with China. We have to take into consideration the bigger picture of it. And we believe that at this time, the best way to proceed is, one, to keep engaging with the Chinese authority and obviously with the stakeholders here in Canada to support our farmers as we are doing with the advanced payment program, and also with the extension of the date to apply to the agri-stability program, and then to put even more efforts into our market diversification approach with Minister Carr, my colleague.
Yeah, I mean, all good efforts. Minister, you must, though, be hearing, as we are, that other types of crops are also seeing resistance, soybean, even hogs, into the Chinese market. Is there a danger here that if we allow them to bully us on one crop, that it opens the door for bullying on others?
It's hard to make speculation, so we are really working and pushing the Chinese authority to have the conversation and to show us evidence of what they say they have found in our crops and our canola. And I mean, this is really our main focus right now. I understand that other producers have concern, but canola is the only one for which I have received official advice that our exporters two of our exporters have seen their export permit suspended.
Given that the issue here is one of the credibility of the quality, and as you say, you need to stand by your producers, why not get there faster? I understand there's a mission going in June. Why not be there tomorrow to inspect the canola seed and refute the claims that there's anything wrong with it?
Well, it's the case in China as it would be in other countries. We have to wait for our counterpart to be ready for such a delegation to come to the country. So the conversation is ongoing. We are doing it through video conference, and I'm still demanding for a high-level delegation, a technical, scientific delegation to travel to China. It would be easier to have these discussions on a scientific base, but at least the conversation, the channel of communication is open.
Are there other ways that we could be a little firmer? One suggestion made by Andrew Scheer is to pull our funding from the Asia Infrastructure Bank. Are there other members of your cabinet who could have ideas and moves that would help increase the pressure on China to release the canola seed?
You're talking to the previous international development minister, and I can tell you that the bank that we are talking about is a development bank, and the projects that are being supported through this bank are for the poorest and the most vulnerable of our world, and they have and everywhere. Every project that we support now with our new Feminist International Assistance Policy are focused on gender equality and actually even more the women empowerment component and the fight against climate change. So this bank is based in China but support the poorest countries of the region, and there's only one project that have been supported in China, and it's a project that it's really targeting having the purpose of improving the life of the poorest and fighting against climate change, contributing to getting out of coal.
I understand that there are certainly virtues about the Asian Development Bank. It is seen, though, as a centerpiece of China's Belt and Road Initiative. It's seen as a way of establishing itself as a counterpart to Bretton Woods organizations. It would be a pretty meaningful move to say, if you don't play fair on the trade file, we will withdraw our support for that bank.
I mean, our support represents less than 3%, if I remember well, and it's a contribution to a development bank. It's not a subsidy to a Chinese company. So, I mean, the purpose of this bank, and as I said, it's mainly focused on the poorest countries of the world in this region. There's only one project in China, and we have to keep it in mind and don't mix, our support for human dignity and fighting against climate change and, any kind of economic issues.
Is there a sense that it would be wise for Canada to make a decision on Huawei in our next generation telecom build out in order to at least have a decision made and let the Chinese chips fall where they will?
Well, this is a discussion we have, especially with Minister Baines, working on innovation, and Minister Freeland, obviously, and I cannot really, expand on this.
All right. We'll leave it there, Minister. We appreciate your time today.